lets us know that the Spanish truly believed that Caonabo had actually had allies at the time that he destroyed La Navidad. We also know that Guacanagari was not around at this time. He let slip that he wasn't there. They believed that Caonabo had gotten the Ciguayos, who were known as the most powerful warriors on the island. They were great archers, they were great at bows and arrows, and they believed that he got them to support his invasion of La Navidad. Oviedo writes, cercaron aquel castillo, estuviéronle en mucho aprieto hasta 30 días, y sin dejar salir de la fortaleza a algún hombre de ellos. Pero como el alcalde era mañoso y esforzado caballero, resistió a los contrarios de tal forma que al cabo del tiempo que he dicho, desviaron su campo y como gentes salvajes y no guerreros, se descuidaron y dieron lugar que este alcalde hiciese mucho daño con ellos. Y como era hombre mañoso y de mucha solicitud, continuó la guerra de todas las maneras que él pudo, así con las armas, cuando convino, como con las astucias y cautelas que suele haber en los capitanes de experiencia. He also says about Caonabo, e hizo su principal asiento a donde ahora está la villa de San Juan de la Maguana, el señorío toda aquella provincia. Capture of Caonabo raised all kinds of hell on the island. The other caciques became terrified. After his capture, Caonabo confessed that he had in fact killed the 39 men at La Navidad. However, we know that at the time the Spanish were renowned for their torture tactics. So we can't say with 100% certainty that yes, he actually did it. He was put on trial by Colón and found guilty. Colón and Caonabo continued to have conversation and learn about each other's culture as best they could with the help of El Indio Colón as interpreter. But what Colón did not count on was that Caonabo had a brother, and his name was Maniocatex or Maniocatex. With Caonabo imprisoned, Maniocatex took the leadership and went back to save his brother. With Caonabo's capture, his brother decided to attack La Isabela. And here's when things get murky, because some say that after Caonabo's capture was when the Batalla de Santo Cerro happened. And then Maniocatex was the leader of the Tainos who were at the Santo Cerro. After la Batalla de Santo Cerro, it is believed that that's when Caonabo, Beecho, and the other caciques realized the extent at which Guacanagari was allied to the Spanish. Another version of events believes that the Batalla de Santo Cerro was actually in response to the capture of Caonabo. Whatever the case may be, what we do know is that Maniocatex did go back and attack La Isabela, but he was unable to rescue Caonabo. This ended up making things worse for Caonabo because his attack led Colón to believe that Caonabo could not be kept on the island, and that helped him to decide to send him to Spain. Seeing the support that Caonabo had on the island led him to think that it was of the utmost importance to get this man off the island. It was the only way he was going to achieve peace among the indigenous population and be able to conquer them fully. At his brother's failure to rescue him, he ended up going back to Jaragua. There was Beecho and Anacaona. Oviedo writes that they tried about 5 different times to rescue Caonabo, but Alonso de Ojeda always defeated them. So it is believed that Maniocatex wasn't captured during these battles, but another one of his brothers was, and he was also put on the ship with Caonabo, heading to Spain. So what happened in the end? Oviedo tells us the following. Y en 2 carabelas que estaban puestas para España, mandó el adelantado que los llevasen. Pero así como Caonabo y su hermano supieron que habían de ir al rey y a la reina católicos, el hermano se murió desde a pocos días. Y el Caonabo, entrado en el mar, desde a pocas jornadas que navegaron, también se murió. De esta manera quedó pacificada toda la tierra desde Caonabo por los cristianos. However, you know that there are so many different sources for this, and we have other sources that say that Caonabo died in a different way. Another version says that he was put on a boat in June of 1495, and this caravel was named La India, and that it was destroyed by a hurricane. This we get from Pedro Martí de Angleria. Another version says that he was actually on the boat with Colón himself, and that he left on March 26, 1496, because he was going to be given to the kings of Spain as a trophy. He was wrapped in linen and thrown over the side of the boat and buried at sea. So in place of Caonabo, we now have Maniocatex, and in place of Beecho, who is said to have died of grief and sorrow in Jaragua, was Anacaona. Even though supposedly now the island was at peace, Colón was determined to capture all of the caciques of the island. He left his brother, Bartolomé Colón, in charge, and that was one of his missions or assignments. He had to capture the rest of the caciques.